but it sure isn't me. You're led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I speak to you and say something differently than what the preacher said, you leave me instantly.
Some folks live to please men, they dare not make a scene. They do what the crowd does, no matter how obscene. They dare not make a ripple in the placid pool, even if it means they wind up looking like a fool. I don't know who you're serving, but it sure isn't me. You're led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I speak to you and say something differently than what the preacher said, you leave me instantly. I've called you to discern
and to judge all you've heard.
when the message of a leader conflicts with my word. I expect you to get up and gently walk away. You don't just follow blindly, you do what I say.
I don't know who you're serving, but it sure isn't me. You're led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I speak to you and say something differently than what the preacher said, you leave me instantly.
Many will stand before me on the judgment day. How they'll weep and wail when they hear me say, "Depart from me, worker of iniquity." I don't know who you serve, but it wasn't me. I taught you to help the poor, the hungry or to feed. Strangers were to be welcomed and the naked clothed for free. The sick you were to visit, prisoners shown mercy. Those who didn't do these things will hear, "Depart from me." I don't know who you're serving, but it sure isn't me. You're led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I speak to you and say something differently than what the preacher said, you leave me instantly. When everything is finished and our race is run, if we've served the Lord faithfully, a crown we will have won. But if our service was toward men, not the Lord above, we'll answer for our failure to walk in the Master's love. I don't know who you were serving, it sure isn't me. You were led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I spoke to you and said something differently than what the preacher said, you left me instantly. I don't know who you're serving, but it sure isn't me. You're led about like a lamb tied to a leash. When I speak to you and say something differently than what the preacher said, you leave me instantly. I've not called you to follow men, but to follow me. If I give an order, you don't act defiantly. People-pleasing cowards won't spend eternity in my shining home beside the crystal sea. You'd best know who you're serving, and it best be me.